Chaos grips the Galactic Republic. Influential star systems break away from the millennia-old alliance, angered over the Senate's treaty with the Sith Empire. On the planet of Ord Mantell, civil war erupted between loyal Republic citizens and violent separatist extremists, waging a campaign of terror against their own people. Now, a young sergeant, newly assigned to the Republic-famous Havoc squad, had arrived to help defeat the separatists and restore peace to this war-ravaged world. The sergeant in question was named Montaro. He finished his military training with incredible high scores, earning him respect and hopes of great potential by his superiors. Unfortunately, during his first mission out in the wild, Montaro and his squad got ambushed due to false intel, and it costed him dear. He lost his left eye, and it left him scarred on the face and body, with cybernetics now keeping him together. Though he could not function at his full potential at the front line anymore, some of the officers took pity upon him and sent him out to meet with Havoc Squad for more specialized tasks.
There's not a feeling in this galaxy like riding a 100-ton walker right through the middle of a combat zone. Huh, kid?
Approaching Droliad village, sir. Scope shows small arms fire and enemy movements in all quarters. Separatists are definitely moving on the objective.
Another beautiful day on Ord Mantell. You excited, kid? Nervous? You know, you're the first new entry to Havoc Squad in some time.
I'll fight the enemies of the Republic with everything I've got, sir.
No need to call me sir. We're in the field. You can lose the formality. I'm Lieutenant Bex Kolos, but everyone in Havoc calls me Gearbox. We're a tight unit. You'll like it with us. Let me tell you why we're here. The Separatists have nabbed the Republic bomb off a downed transport, a Sirius bomb. One of those orbital strike numbers. There's no telling where these grimy bushwhackers have hidden the thing. They have popular support and hideouts everywhere. Finding this bomb won't be easy.
What are the weapon specs?
The bomb is designed to slag a huge city, so it could wipe this little island right off the map. You'll get a full op brief once we reach Fort Garnett. For now, just sit back and...
Code Red! Code Red! We've been hit by an AP missile! A shoulder launcher from somewhere in the village! Everyone, hold...
Driver! Driver! Blasted, he's down. Backwater Separatists aren't supposed to have armor-piercing missiles. They'll tear up every convoy that passes through here.
Major hardware in enemy hands. Seems like the kind of thing we should have been warned about.
Let's get out of this alive and worry about filing complaints later, all right? Fixing things is my specialty, kid. I'm nowhere near the fighter you are. I'll stay and get this walker moving again. You'll disable the Separatist missile launchers. Understood?
Understood, sir.
The Separatists will probably have their missile launchers piled together in a cache somewhere in the village. You can bet that cache will be heavily guarded. Find the cache, disable the missile launchers, and then double time it back here. Got it, Sergeant?
I'm on it.
Good luck out there, kid.
Ord Mantell was in total chaos. The nearby village had smoke coming out of the center. As Montaro made his approach to the village border, he kept a keen sense on his surroundings and noticed speeders were parked at the edge of the water. Mantellian soldiers had arrived to aid the villagers against the extremists, but they were pinned down and needed help to secure the area. Montaro headed on over and opened fire on the separatists, who were not expecting reinforcements. They quickly got pinned down and fled deeper into the village. The soldiers were able to secure the outer area and were thankful for Montaro's help. At the front gate, Montaro saw that an officer was waving him over.
Stand by a tick. HQ, this is forward recon. Do you copy? HQ! Blast. Thought I had him. Sorry, soldier. Having a little trouble here. Actually, we could use that big gun of yours right now if you'd help us out. A cracked separatist militia has taken over this village. So we're not talking dumb grunts and farmers. They've got experts in there with serious jamming equipment. Any ideas how to solve that problem? I figure I've got one option left. Ask you for help. My mission is to deliver recon on this village, but I can't report anything through this interference. I need those separatist jammers neutralized. So if you're headed into the village anyway, maybe you can handle it for us. If you waste those separatist jammers, report back here. I'll see if I can requisition some equipment you could use.
It did not take long for Montaro to spot the first jammer near the front gate. It was guarded by a handful of extremists, but they were no problem for the Republic trooper. After he disposed of them, he overrode the jammer's controls and stopped it. Further into the village, he quickly stumbled upon the second jammer, which was unguarded as the extremists had died in battle with the villagers. From the corner of his eye, Montaro spotted the weapons cache with the missile launchers. He quickly sabotaged the missiles and contacted Gearbox.
Nice work, kid. You've got a talent, there's no denying that. I, however, didn't have much success. This walker isn't gonna be moving anytime soon.
What happens next?
I'm gonna stay here and salvage all the goodies off this wreck before someone else does. Better head for Fort Garnett. Be sure to keep a lookout for Seps on your way to the fort. They can come at you out of nowhere. Stay sharp out there. I'll see you later.
On his way out, Montaro saw the last jammer and disabled this before regrouping with Sergeant Blythe.
Glad you made it back in one piece. Me and my squad owe you one. Thanks to you, we're cutting through the Separatist interference. Be reporting back to base in no time. Here, a little something from our private stock. Watch your hide out there, hero.
After the sergeant gave Montaro directions towards Fort Garnett, he was on his way again. The fort was at the top of a hill. At the base of that hill, soldiers were holed up, looking out past the landscape to locate potential enemies. As Montaro was ready to make his ascent towards the fort, he noticed one particular soldier with a panicked expression hunkered down behind cover.
Private Westner, 31st Recon out of Fort Garnett. Watch your head out there. Separatists deployed snipers in the area last week. Good snipers. Plenty of casualties between here and Fort Garnett. Those Seps will shoot at anything.
Who are their targets?
Soldiers, vehicles, civilians, especially the refugees from all the war-torn settlements. They pass through on their way to the refugee camp outside Fort Garnett. Boom. Sniper bait.
Most despicable thing I've ever heard.
Yes, sir. 100% despicable, sir. Fort Garnett wants those snipers retired ASAP. Commander Frey even offered a week's pay to anyone who makes it happen.
Then count me in.
Damn glad to hear it, sir. If you take out the snipers, report to Commander Frey at the refugee camp outside Fort Garnett. Good hunting.
Not too far from Westner, Montaro encountered the referenced snipers along with a few helpers. When the coast was clear, he continued further up the hill, only to run into another pack of enemy snipers, which were no match. As the hills were clear, Montaro continued as ships above him fought for dominance. He soon arrived at the entrance of Fort Garnett. At the base of the entrance, troopers were in what seemed a heavy fire exchange with a group of separatists who had launched an attack on the fort. Though fire was heavily exchanged between both parties, the troopers assured Montaro that they had things under control and that Garnett was safe. They gestured Montaro to continue further into the fort. The fort itself was massive, with multiple sprawling areas lingering with troopers, cadets, travelers, and merchants. As Montaro explored the area, he was stopped by one of the sergeants.
Sergeant, good to see Havoc squad colors in the field. Nasty fight out here. Can't tell friend from enemy half the time. Such just take off their uniforms and blend into the villages. Still, Fort Garnett's one of the better posts. Good for training, you know.
They have quality instructors at the fort?
Got a combat instructor academy here, so the best of the best come from all over the planet. Get up and see Lieutenant Forrest when you get a chance. He'll help you survive in this craziness.
Even though the civil war of Ord Mantell was occurring in the background, the overall atmosphere in the fort was fairly relaxed. The merchants weren't doing as good a business as they normally would, but they seemed to wait for things to dim down. When one would look deeper into the fort, one would come across more cadets just killing some time, as they knew they were not going to be sent out unless there was an emergency. They were being informed via giant screens on the situation, which was mostly vital to the already instated troopers. The HQ was a little further, which was exactly where Montaro needed to go to meet the rest of his squad. The place was heavily secured with patrolling guards. As Montaro entered, he was spotted by a young private.
Excuse me, Sergeant. Sorry to interrupt, but you're the new member of Havoc Squad, aren't you? I'm Farn, sir. Private Farn. It's a real honor to meet you. Ord Mantell is my first post. I can't believe I'm here at the same time as Havoc Squad. If you don't mind me asking, sir, what's your mission here? Why would Havoc Squad be sent to Ord Mantell?
The Separatists stole the Republic bomb, so we're here to take it back.
Whoa, sounds like dangerous stuff. I won't take up any more of your time, Sergeant. I'm sure you have lots of really important things to do.
Maybe we'll run into each other again, Private.
I hope so, sir. Goodbye.
The HQ wasn't particularly big, but it did have different rooms and areas providing the residing soldiers with different needs, including a medical bay in case one got sick or injured. Then Montaro finally found the room where the rest of Havoc Squad were in the middle of a meeting.
So if we focus our efforts on M Sector, I'm certain that... Sergeant, welcome. Good to have you here. I'm Commander Haran Tavis, Havoc Squad's commanding officer. We're all excited to have some new blood in the unit. Let me introduce you to the other members of Havoc Squad. My second-in-command, Captain Zora, is the squad's infiltration and assassination specialist. We call her Wraith.
Sergeant.
This is Fuse, Lieutenant Vanto Bazrin. He's an expert with every type of explosive in the known galaxy.
Oh, yes. Hello, Sergeant. Hello. Good to meet you.
And this is Needles, Lieutenant Ryler Durant. Needles is a medical genius. He's particularly adept at synthesizing powerful new combat stimulants and adrenals.
Perfection is my art, Sergeant. It will be my honor to help you perform at your very best.
And of course you met Gearbox on your way here, so that's everyone. People, this is the new sergeant I mentioned. Rank first in the Academy in forward assault, search and destroy, and advanced recon. It's good to have you, Sergeant.
It's a real pleasure to meet all of you.
Now, the reason we're all here. A Republic transport carrying among its cargo a ZR-57 orbital strike bomb crashed in northern Avalatan 6 days ago. Recovery unit sent a team, but they were too late. Separatist forces had already stolen the transport's cargo, including the ZR-57, and fled.
What are the ZR-57's capabilities, sir?
The ZR-57 is... well, it's serious hardware, you know? I mean, it can pretty much vaporize this whole island. So we'd better get it back, or, well, boom.
We're investigating several leads to the bomb's location, but the one I'd like you to look into, Sergeant, comes from a Republic spy named Bellis. Bellis reported making an important discovery, but he's too deep to exfiltrate for a full report. Instead, you'll rendezvous with Bellis in a nearby village called Talaran. Bellis will meet you in a small alley in Talaran. Find out what he's discovered, then return to base immediately. Understood?
I'll talk to the guy.
I have one last introduction to make. This is Lieutenant Arik Jorgen, an operations officer from the Republic's Ord Mantell Infantry Command. Since we're on individual missions to search for this bomb, Lieutenant Jorgen is coordinating our efforts from here within the mission room.
All right, Sergeant. I'll be overseeing your op through the camera mounted on your armor, so I see what you see. It's activated when you leave the fort. I'll make this completely clear, Rookie. When you're in the field, what I say goes. Period.
Understood, sir.
Just make your way to Talaran, meet up with Bellis, and find out what he knows without screwing anything up.
Good luck in Talaran, Sergeant. Dismissed.
The intel room wasn't big either, but it did provide all the necessary gadgets and operating systems for a crew to work on. From this area, multiple operations across Mantell were being monitored on the spot. Jorgen had his eyes on Montaro the whole time until he had left the building. With some better armor and weapons provided at the HQ, Montaro headed out. He saw a higher-ranking trooper address his cadets and trainees. It looked like these were chosen to be sent out into the field, giving Montaro the impression that maybe the battle wasn't going their way after all. He headed into the north direction as he crossed a few other parts of Fort Garnett. His new and improved weapon leaned on his back, eagerly waiting to be used to shed its first blood.
Soldier! Soldier! You're Special Forces, right? I have an urgent mission for you, if you can spare the time.
Is something wrong?
One of my boys dozed off on guard duty last night. Let the fort's stock of medicine get stolen. We don't get that medicine back, them good Republic soldiers are gonna leave Ord Mantell in body bags.
Any idea who took the medicine?
Sleepyhead claims he woke up as the thief was making her escape. Only saw the back of her, but she looked like a Cathar. The Cathar are aliens, sort of cat people that live nearby. Some were driven out of their homes from the fighting. The refugee camp is a good place to start. Please hurry. Good soldiers' lives depend on this medicine.
The refugee camps were right next to the west gate, not too far from Montaro's position. There was a certain irony in the fact that the refugees were under protection, but not held within the fortress itself. The circumstances for the refugees were quite poor. Near one of the tents stood Commander Vrey, who promised a reward for those getting rid of the snipers earlier. It did not take long afterward before Montaro saw a female that fit the description given by the officer.
I'm sorry, Raiso. I don't have any medicine for you today.
It hurts.
I know, but there's nothing I can do right now. I'm sorry, honey. Hi. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. It's just crazy around here right now. What brings you to the camp?
We're looking for some medicine that was stolen from the fort. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
The sleeping guard must have sent you. Yeah, I saw the guard sleeping at his post, and I took the medicine too. It's no use trying to cover it up. See, I took the supplies to help the refugees. More and more of them are dying every day. The Republic won't help. So when I saw the guard sleeping, I helped myself. But then the Separatists took the medicine from me. Now they have it, and we don't. So here's the deal. You agree to bring the supplies to me so I can give them to the refugees, and I'll tell you which way the Separatists went. Unless, of course, you'd rather the Separatists keep the medicine.
You're bluffing.
This isn't a game. I'm serious. I'm tired of being bullied because I don't carry a gun. If the war doesn't drive people out of their homes, the soldiers come and extort money out of them. Sometimes, someone's driven out of here only to be robbed. Taxed, they call it, on the way here. But they won't suffer for lack of medicine. Not if I can help it.
I'll bring you the medicine.
Sorry for the guilt trip. But I hope you realize you're doing the right thing. Raiso here, at least, will be grateful. The Separatists fled to Talaran village. Please hurry. There are people here in critical condition.
It was convenient that the medicine would be at the same place as Montaro's main mission, and with weapon in hand, he headed into the wilderness.